Okay, so Dita is going to share what's working for him. I was originally going to do something about having too many guitars, but I'll save that for another day. So I've had this classical put away for a while, and it's one of my favorite guitars, probably my favorite guitar. And it's good. So what I want to suggest is if you're a medium skill player or an advanced beginner or something like that, and you feel like you've hit a plateau, find a song that you really like, and make sure it's something you can't play, and I'll tell you why. Because I found that when I learned a couple of difficult classical pieces, all of a sudden I could play all of the other classical pieces that I could play sort of okay, could play them a lot better. Because when you play something that's way out of your comfort zone, tackle something that you think you will be able to, like in time, like maybe a month or 2 months or even 3 months, be able to play it. And I'll show you why, because I'm going to show you a piece that I like, that I played quite a bit, used to play quite a bit, but never really played it well. And now that I've got my classical out, I find myself analyzing it a lot better. And this incorporates some of the things I've talked about in my other videos about just repeating phrases. And if you can read music, the first thing you should do is after you've can play it well, reading music, then try and commit it to memory. So we'll take this piece and I'll show you what I mean. So I've slowed it right down, and even though I haven't played it in this piece literally in months, I'm playing it a lot better and understanding it better. So that's interesting, I think, because you would think that if you haven't played a particular piece, especially a fairly difficult piece, in 3 or 4 months, you'd think you'd be starting over, but it's not the case. So I'll show you what I mean. Hopefully, I always tend to screw up when I go to demonstrate this. So it's see, I did. Now there, I messed up. So what I find myself doing now, I've told you before, I did play this just before I push record, and I didn't make any mistakes. And then as soon as I want to show you guys, I start making mistakes. So that's something that I'm aware of that I have to work on. But without making this too long, what I find I'm doing though, and I'll get back to it after I turn this off, because I don't want to spend 15 minutes struggling through this thing. But because I have, the old me would try and play it through or just keep going back to the beginning, going over. But now the new me is trying to just do it really slowly, play the notes clearly, and then try and go back right to that point where I make the mistake. And I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm getting closer. Whereas before I would have to go back maybe right to the beginning, even if I was at the 10th or 12th bar. Now I'm trying to get to where I can just go back to the bar before. And that's what I'm trying to illustrate here. So try and go back to the point where you just make the mistake, because then you're breaking. You're breaking, like, even you know, we use our minds in a habitual way, and you're breaking that. And I think anything that breaks your habits in a constructive way will reinforce perhaps better habits. Right? That's what I'm getting at. If that makes any sense. For some reason, I'm getting just a mental snag there. So after I shut this off, that's what I'll work on. So hopefully that helps. So yes, pick a piece that you like, that you know that you can't play, but a piece that you've always wanted to play, and really go to town on that and don't get discouraged. That's the advice for today. Wiedersehen.